Welcome back to the Chuck Clark Coaches Show here with a show we do every week here on the BCHS Bear Network. I'm your host, Gary Ownbey. Talking with Coach Clark here today, and also our special guest. We have one of our seniors, Tucker Green, joining us. Glad to have Tucker on our broadcast here today. And Coach Clark, we're doing this on a Wednesday morning. Had a tough loss last night to East Hampton district game. Good win Friday night down at Saudi Days, and had some guys step up in both those games. That's one of those losses. You hate it. You're frustrated, and I know you were frustrated last night. I seen you and watched your actions and seen things going on there. But you got to shake that off. The heart of your season right now is coming up because you got Cleveland here at Cleveland Thursday. Come right back across town on next Tuesday, and then you got Walker Valley next Friday. You follow that up with Udawal and Saudi, both back here again, and then you got to go back to East Hampton on that postponed game. So you got a lot to play for. I mean, it ain't over with at all.
No. In fact, I told the guys, I guess yesterday, the day before, whoever wins this thing is going to have 3 losses. Mm-hmm. And, and we've had a few seasons like this. In fact, the first year that I came in to coach, we won it with 3 losses. And so it still can happen that way. And I look at, because there's so much parity right now. Mm-hmm. Udawal and Saudi are having their struggles right now. But everybody else on any given night, I mean, we had McMinn County down to the last, 15 seconds.
Yeah.
And then we had East Ham last night. They didn't take the lead until midway through the fourth quarter. Mm-hmm. And we led the whole game. So I haven't thought about that game that much last night. I did glance at the turnovers that we had and who had them and where they had them. And but then when I got home, I had a little quick meal. And I turned on my laptop and started watching Cleveland games. And so I was up until about 2 o'clock doing my studies and with that. And, got to have a quick game plan for them because, one day to prepare.
Well, you look at last night's 3 district games played. We lost a close one. Cleveland won a close one. McMinn County won a close one. So you take away Udawal and Saudi, who are struggling, obviously, as you mentioned right now. The other 5 teams, you can put them under a hat and just see who pops out of there because, and you mentioned to me earlier off the air today, these next 2 games are must-win games for the Bears to have a shot at the district title. Got to have these 2 games. And Cleveland's looking at the same thing,
Yeah.
They can lock things up if they can sweep us, and they're looking, East Hampton's still obviously right there in the mix. Walker Valley's in the mix. McMinn's in the mix. All the teams are, so nobody's out of it. And that's what makes our district so good, I guess, the toughness of the boys' side of it. The Barretts sort of dominate on the girls' side, but any given year with the boys, you just don't know what's going on. This is just a typical year in our league.
Yeah. Well, Cleveland had its run last year, but still, the district was very competitive. This year, I mean, you're right. I mean, all you got to do is, throw a hat over top of us and then pull out a number, and that team's liable to win.
Let's talk to our senior here, Tucker Green. Glad to have you here, Tucker. You're a senior. You've been here at Bradley for 4 years, and it's wrapping up rapidly for you.
Yeah.
What's going to be your takeaway from the Bears when you leave here? I know you've had some great success here, and last couple of games, the last few games, you have really come on with hitting 20 points, 21 points a couple of nights, and that's what Coach needs out of you. The position you play, we need points out of that position. And are you looking forward to games? The upcoming schedule like Cleveland, that's always a big rivalry for us, and I know over there Thursday it's going to be tough.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to anything we can get into because this district is just a toss-up. Anybody can beat anybody. I feel like we got a chance to, if we can improve in practice, get better, I feel like we could definitely have a shot.
Well, and go back, just talking about last year Cleveland had to run, but Coach, think back to the district tournament. You beat them. Your own team beat them all last year. I think they were 30, 31-0, something like that, I guess. And we aced them out there at the very end by 1 point, I guess it was. But everything's a toss-up. And as you wind down, we've only got, 6 games left in the regular season, 7 games, counting the 2 with Cleveland. 8 games, I guess would be. All of them are district games except the one, the final game that's on the schedule for Warren County. But it's been a quick season, and it's been, I know, with you guys, coaches, and players too, frustrating for all of us, the fans especially too, that they can't all come and enjoy Bradley basketball. But it's part of what we're going through. We'll get through this fine and be okay at some point, I hope. But.
Yeah, you know, I hate it for our players, but I hate it for the students too, you know, because the seniors especially, because they, you know, they enjoy coming to the games, and they enjoy giving the other players a hard time, yelling at them and all that, sure. and I'm sure they jump on the officials the same way too. I don't hear them myself because I'm so involved in the game, but I'm sure that they do. But they have fun. You know, they're being a kid.
Part of being in high school, going and cheering for your team and booing the other team. That's
absolutely.
Part of it.
And so I hate it for our schools, but I heard the governor is opening up to where he's allowing the teachers to start coming in to the game.
And grandparents.
And grandparents. And so we're opening up a little bit. And you know, why we couldn't just, you know, have a mandate. I know we went to one of the schools and played, and they asked my wife once to put her mask back on, or they would remove her. Now, they'd have a hard time doing that if I knew about it. But you know, that's the rule. That's the rule.
Yeah.
You know, apply it, and if the kids don't want to do it, then that's fine. But, you know, they need to come to the ball games, and they need to enjoy their, especially the seniors, that last year. You know, make some memories. That's what I used to always tell my boys. You know, it's time to make some memories, and so that's what they need to enjoy it.
It's funny, you were talking about the mask situation up at Knox Catholic Saturday. They had an AD going through the stands, and if you didn't have your mask on, he didn't ask you, put your mask on.
Yeah.
Please put your mask on now. And he didn't say please either. I said please, but he didn't say please. And I understand that. We're all fighting the same battle here.
Yeah.
Tucker, going to play college ball? You looking to play college ball, hoping to play?
Looking to, if I can walk on anywhere, get a scholarship, wherever I can go, yeah.
Well, how is it with your dad living out of state? I know he gets to tune in on the radio, and they're streaming all of our home games and watch it that way, but it's a little different situation, tougher, awkward, I guess, but at least he's in contact with you, and I know your mother and your sister live here in town. But.
Yeah, it's a little tough with him being 13, 14 hours away. He only comes here about twice a month, comes to some of my games, but he doesn't get to see all of it like he used to.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of tough.
Well, what's got the last couple of games, well, 2 or 3 of the last 3 or 4 games, hitting the 20-point area? What have you done that's different, or their shots just falling for you, or?
I got hot in the Saudi Daisy game and the Udawa game. I was just feeling it, but I feel like we're moving the ball way better now. I feel like everybody's getting a touch, and I feel like we're playing way better than we did at the start of the season.
Okay. Well, when you leave here, 4 years here at Bradley, what's going to be one of the takeaways you have that some of your fondest memories of?
I got a lot of fondest memories, especially in the locker room, everything. Yeah. Everybody's fun in the locker room. Practices,
that's a huge part of it.
Practices are really fun. Game days are always so fun.
Well, and it's all about the team chemistry and that's part of being on the team. Yeah. That's why you're on the team. You enjoy that chemistry and being part of a team and learning you. And really, that's where you learn what you're weak at, and that's why you have a coach. You know, hey, here's where you need to improve your game to make you better. And hopefully, over the course of time that you've been on there, you've gained some skills and improved your skill set to the point where you can play in college. And is he a coachable kind of guy, Coach?
He's gotten a lot better. We'll put it that way. Now, you know. But you know, when Tucker came to Bradley, he was put into the heat and the fire real quick. You know, that first game at, I guess, William Blunt, you know, he and Mason both started as freshmen, and he's continued playing the whole time. So he's got to take a lot of my punishment, you know, verbal and running, and so and he probably hasn't liked me, and there wasn't I'm sure there's a number of times that I was not the first one on his Christmas list.
But that's part of being a head coach too. though.
That's part of it. You know, I'm there for him at all times, and you know, I love Tucker to death. I mean, he goes out and he plays hard now, especially I guess more so now because he knows it's his senior year,
Yeah.
and so. And there was times when he didn't like defense a whole lot, and I have to remind him of that. And you know what? There's very few players that really do like defense. And not to just talk bad about Tucker, but very few people want to play defense the way that I wanted to play defense. And so we've gotten ourselves together a whole lot better because I put him on the better players.
Okay.
He's become my defensive stopper, and it's actually helped his offense. When he plays really good defense, that carries over, and I think that's part of some of why his game is picking up a little bit more.
Well, I guess it makes you feel good if you're successful stopping the guy. Tucker, I'm not going to put words in your mouth, but you shut your guy down, and we got the ball back. Now you got a chance to score, so it just sort of feeds off one another. It's like when one guy gets hot shooting the ball, it seems to get contagious, and everybody's shooting the ball and hitting the shots there. But and Coach, zone defense, I know you don't like it, but boy, it's looked pretty good when you've played it in a lot of spots this year, I think.
It really did, and actually, Coach Webb called me last night, and we talked, and he was asking questions about how we did our zone, and because I mean he's a young guy.
Had them tore up for a long time.
Yeah, and so it was. I didn't tell him exactly. I just told him we'd get together after the season's over with or something if he wanted to ask questions about it. Or,
You got to get there and play him again.
Ask me anything you want to, and we'll get together and work on that. But he was bragging about our defense and being the zone and how the guys were playing with a lot of energy, and they did. They played with a great amount of energy, and they were all over the court, and they were talking. Yeah,
that's key.
That's huge, and so they played really well.
And you were playing 3-2 and 2-3, looked like.
We
switching back and forth.
We switched things up, and so it was. And you never know what else we might do.
Well, that's good. Keeps the other team off balance there.
Well, we've got quickness, but we're not as quick as some teams. So you have to use, we're very smart. And, we've got a lot of basketball knowledge with those guys. And so that's part of it. And so I'm using that this year more so than I have in years past.
Well, Tucker, let me ask you something about last night's game. Have you figured out you can't shoot over a 6'10" guy?
Yeah. I'm not used to playing kids that big. I tried to pull up over him twice, got blocked both times. I don't know. His arms, he's got about a 7'1" wingspan.
Yeah. Not only is he 6'10", I guess, but my goodness, he can touch the rim standing flat-footed, and it wasn't just your shot. It was several guys that got rejected last night, and for as slim as he was, and he's tall but very, very slim, but he had some pretty good moves, and he got inside. He was hard to shut off there, but
well, when you're 5-6 inches taller, and then with his wingspan, he really is has a long wingspan, and so he's going to be a pretty good player. He's just a junior, so.
Oh, really?
So he's going to be pretty tough next year too.
And that JV game, I congratulate Coach Drew German on a big, big win. That was one of the best JV game I've seen in a long time. Two very, very talented teams, and boy, they were at each other, back and forth, back and forth. They were up double digits in the first half, and we were up double digits in the second half of that game as well. It was a really good game, and he was excited about the win. He said the kids really enjoyed playing that type of game with that kind of atmosphere.
Well, they played so well. I challenged the varsity players there, and that was my biggest thing. I said, some of those JV guys, they got my attention, and so I might not be as hesitant about pulling some of those guys in the games and playing them. So they will determine that now.
Well, we're going to wrap things up here, but Tucker, going to Cleveland tomorrow night, and you got them coming over here. We've never played them back-to-back as far as I know, as long as I've been involved. Maybe we have somewhere along the line. It's unusual, but the way things happen because of postponement. But I guess you guys look forward to that. You probably don't have to get jacked up to play them because you know they're coming after you.
Yeah.
And it'll be an all-out war over there. Hate to use that terminology, but it will be a battle.
Sure will.
Over there. And like Coach and I talked earlier, you know, you can control your own fate if you can win the games you need to win.
Yeah, we really, you know, we need a little bit of help on down the road now, but it's on us. I mean, that's fine. We're preparing our seating for the tournament, and so it's whether you want to travel or you want to stay home for a game or two.
Yeah. Well, Tucker, is this guy hard to play for? I know he's pretty emotional sometimes, at least outside publicly on the floor during a game. I guess he explains things as well in the dressing room too, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's not a hard coach to play for. I think he's a good coach. He's definitely not been my biggest fan in the past, but this year he's really taught me some things that I can remember, and I like playing for him this year. I think he's got the team straight now ever since we lost. I mean, we lost Quante and Trey, but he's got a lot of faith in us, and he just thinks we can do something this year, and I think we can too if we keep playing.
Well, I've seen you play almost every game, and you can play with anybody in the district. You know, there's no doubt about that. And we look forward to seeing the completion of your senior season. And we got, what, 4 seniors?
Yes.
4 seniors, and maybe we'll get a couple others on here. We had Mason last week and try to get some of the other guys on as well. But
absolutely.
Coach, we want to wish you the best in the upcoming games. Obviously, there's a lot on the line, starting with tomorrow night's game at Cleveland High School. And Tucker, hope you have a great season. We need to see 20 points every game, you know, if you can get them in there. So keep playing that tough defense and keep lighting up the scoreboard as best you can.
Absolutely. He's had a nice year so far.
Yeah, he really has.
And so I'm really proud of him.
Yeah, we all are, and wishing him the best of luck, not only here at Bradley, but in the future down the road. Maybe Dad will hire you on for he's plant manager, but who wants to move to Chicago? Though? We're going to wrap it up here for Coach Chuck Clark Coach's Show. I've been your host, Gary Ownbey. We had a senior with us today, Tucker Green, and Coach Clark, as always. Appreciate you, man. We'll catch you next week. Until that time, we'll say for now, God bless and go Bears.